Every year I grow bell peppers with the plan of making stuffed peppers, putting them in the freezer, and then when I need a quick meal, I can pull the peppers out, heat them up, and we'll have a nice meal. But every year I had the same problem. I can't get enough peppers at one time of the size that I'd like to have. I would like for them to be about like this size. But as you can see, in order to get enough for one batch, a nice big batch to make this even worth my while, I have to wait until the others get a lot bigger than what I'd like to have, or pick one that's a lot smaller. And I mean, if I had to pick this one here is huge, but I mean that's just too big for a stuffed pepper. It's huge. And if I had picked this one when it was that size, I would have only had one pepper. And these are very nice peppers, but if I had to pick these when they were the size I wanted, I'd only had four. So the bell peppers, I'm pretty fed up with that. So this year I wised up and I planted some sweet banana peppers. And last week I found that I could make stuffed peppers with the bananas, and they were excellent. It's a real good proportion of the meat to the pepper. I actually like these better than the bell peppers. So I made 3 batches and put them in the freezer, and I have taken one batch out and heated that up, and it worked out excellent. To make the stuffed peppers, all I do is cut the top off, slice the pepper down the center, remove the seeds, and then I wash them. Okay, now to make the meat mixture, take a couple pounds of hamburger and an egg, and some onions, some salt, some pepper, a little garlic salt, and tomatoes. About half a jar. I'm making another batch after this, but I'll use the rest of it in. Just mix it all up. It's pretty good because I grew the peppers, I grew the onions, I grew and canned the tomatoes last year. Pretty much the only thing that I've had to buy is the meat and the spices. Now all I have to do is stuff the peppers. When most people make stuffed peppers, they brown the meat and then add rice to it and stuff the peppers. It ends up with loose meat and a pepper, and I don't like it that way. I like it more like a meatloaf. So I packed the hamburger in there raw, and they do it that way to get rid of the grease, but I just bake them this way, and then after they've baked for a while, I'll pour the grease out. Okay, I have 4 pans done. I'm going to put them in the oven and bake them at 350 for about 30 minutes. Okay, now I'm going to make the sauce to put on the stuffed peppers. I'm mixing some tomato sauce and some sugar. It's about, let's go with 1/3 of a cup. And some chili powder. I'm just going to heat this up. Now I'm going to drain the grease out of the peppers. To spoon some of the tomatoes on the peppers. put them back in the oven for about 10 minutes. Okay, they've all baked for an additional 10 minutes, and I'm going to take them out of the oven and let them cool down. And when they're cool, I'm going to put them in the freezer. And once they're frozen, I'm going to take them out of the pan, put them into plastic bags, and vacuum seal them. Okay, the peppers are completely frozen, and I will say that the freezer is not the best option when it comes to food storage, because if you lose your power, you can lose your food. But once you have so much food canned and dehydrated, it seems foolish to ignore the freezer, because if I was doing that, then it'd be 4 meals that I otherwise wouldn't have had. So I'm going to pop these out of here and vacuum seal them. And I'll say that there's probably 100 different ways you could make this. We're kind of plain Jane around here, so this is the way I do it. Well, there you go. If you like stuffed peppers, you might consider growing the sweet banana peppers for that. The plants are very prolific, and you don't have to be concerned about having the peppers all the same size so that it'll cook evenly. So, hope it helps.